Talk in English just 1 page per day. Alex gazed at the English textbook, a daunting mountain of unfamiliar words. His dream of conversing freely with international colleagues felt impossibly distant, a whispered hope he rarely dared to voice. The sheer volume of vocabulary and complex grammar rules overwhelmed him daily, making progress seem painfully slow, almost non-existent, despite his dedication to learning. One day, a mentor shared a revolutionary idea: talk in English, just 1 page per day. This wasn't about textbook pages, but a mental page, a commitment to consistent, manageable engagement with the language. It promised to transform his overwhelming task into an achievable daily habit, building momentum through small, consistent efforts, rather than sporadic, intensive bursts of study. This simple philosophy became Alex's guiding star. His new way of learning English began with conscious immersion, starting each morning with focused listening. He devoured podcasts, watched interviews, and consumed documentaries, meticulously absorbing the rhythm and intonation of native speakers, training his ear to recognize subtle nuances in pronunciation and natural speech patterns. Listen and practice became his mantra. He understood that passive listening alone wasn't enough. Active engagement was crucial. After listening to a segment, he'd pause and try to mimic the phrases, paying close attention to speed and accent. This active repetition cemented new vocabulary and grammatical structures more effectively than mere rote memorization. Yet, the greatest hurdle remained: speaking. The thought of uttering even a single sentence filled him with dread, a paralyzing fear of making mistakes and sounding foolish. He knew why you should practice speaking, because it's the ultimate goal, but anxiety often stifled his voice before he could even attempt to articulate a word, let alone a coherent thought. His mentor wisely explained that practice speaking wasn't about perfection, but participation. To overcome the fear, she advised, you must take the first step for talking, however small it may seem. This advice resonated deeply with Alex, shifting his perspective from fearing error to embracing the journey of gradual improvement, one tiny step at a time. How to take the first step for talking? He began with simple self-talk in front of a mirror, describing his day or narrating mundane activities. He then progressed to recording his voice, listening back to identify areas for improvement. This private, low-stakes environment slowly built his confidence without the immediate pressure of external judgment or potential embarrassment. How to talk in English then became less daunting. He used prompts, imagined conversations, and described objects around him, focusing on constructing complete sentences. He learned that fluency wasn't about speaking fast, but speaking clearly and confidently. This systematic approach gradually expanded his linguistic comfort zone, making communication feel more natural. A significant breakthrough came with English story reading. He started with simplified versions of classic tales, gradually moving to more complex narratives. Each story opened new worlds of vocabulary and idiomatic expressions, presenting language in context, far more engagingly than isolated flashcards or dry grammar exercises could ever achieve. Why reading is so important quickly became apparent. Stories provided not just words, but cultural context, narrative structures, and natural sentence flow. They deepened his understanding of nuances, making his own speech sound more authentic and less like a direct translation. It was a holistic way to absorb the language organically and effectively. Alex dedicated himself to this routine, listening, mimicking, speaking to himself, and reading. Each day, he diligently completed his 1 page of focused English engagement, whether it was understanding a new article, practicing a specific set of phrases, or immersing himself in a chapter of an intriguing novel. This consistency was transformative. The initial awkwardness of English talking practice slowly faded, replaced by a growing sense of capability. He discovered that every small effort, every hesitant word spoken, every new sentence constructed, contributed significantly to his overall linguistic development, strengthening his command of the language one incremental step at a time. He started joining online language exchange groups, initially just listening, then tentatively contributing short phrases. The supportive environment encouraged him to push past his comfort zone, realizing that everyone there was on a similar journey, making mistakes and learning from them together, fostering a sense of shared progress and camaraderie. Soon, his confidence blossomed. He found himself initiating conversations, expressing opinions, and even engaging in light-hearted debates. The fear that once paralyzed him had diminished considerably, replaced by an eagerness to communicate and connect with others through the power of language, a profound shift in his entire disposition. The 1 page per day philosophy proved its profound effectiveness. It wasn't about rushing to finish a massive book, it was about daily, consistent interaction with English in a manageable, non-overwhelming way. This steady drip of learning accumulated into a vast ocean of knowledge and fluency over time, surprising even Alex himself. He learned to view mistakes not as failures, but as invaluable learning opportunities. Each mispronounced word or grammatical error became a signpost, directing him toward areas needing more attention, making his learning process dynamic and responsive to his evolving needs, accelerating his progress in unforeseen and beneficial ways. His journey illustrated the critical importance of a structured yet flexible approach to learn English. He didn't just passively absorb, he actively engaged, questioned, and practiced, making the language his own through diligent effort. This active participation transformed a challenging task into an empowering and deeply rewarding personal quest. English talking practice became a joyful exploration rather than a dreaded chore. He discovered the satisfaction of clear communication, the thrill of understanding complex ideas, and the sheer pleasure of expressing himself authentically in a new tongue, expanding his world in ways he had never thought possible before. The transformation in Alex was remarkable. Colleagues who once saw him struggle now admired his articulate discussions and confident presentations in English. He wasn't just speaking the language, he was thinking in it, dreaming in it, and living in it, a testament to the power of perseverance and smart learning strategies. He often reflected on his initial fear and how far he had come. The journey hadn't been without its frustrations, but the consistent, daily effort, guided by practical strategies, had undoubtedly been the key to unlocking his linguistic potential, demonstrating the profound impact of disciplined and strategic self-improvement. The 1 page method emphasized consistency over intensity. It taught him that small, daily habits compound over time, leading to significant, lasting results. This principle extended beyond language learning, impacting his approach to other personal development goals, proving its universal applicability and powerful effectiveness. Alex began sharing his journey, inspiring others who faced similar language barriers. He advocated for the listen and practice method, stressing the importance of active engagement. He demonstrated how daily immersion, even for short periods, could dramatically accelerate progress and foster genuine fluency in a new language. He shared his tips on why you should practice speaking, highlighting the unique cognitive benefits of active verbalization. Speaking forces your brain to retrieve and organize information quickly, solidifying knowledge and improving recall, making it an indispensable part of any comprehensive language acquisition strategy. For those daunted by the initial steps, Alex always offered practical advice on how to take the first step for talking. He recommended starting with simple greetings and introductions, gradually expanding to personal anecdotes and descriptions, building a foundation of confidence one successful interaction at a time. He meticulously explained how to talk in English effectively, focusing on pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. He stressed the importance of mimicry and shadowing native speakers, ensuring that learners developed not just correct words, but also natural, authentic delivery, making their spoken English sound more fluent. His advice on English story reading was equally compelling. He urged learners to find genres they genuinely enjoyed, transforming reading from a chore into a delightful pursuit. This personal connection to the material made the learning process much more engaging and sustainable over the long term. He often elaborated on why reading is so important, beyond just vocabulary acquisition. Reading exposed learners to diverse sentence structures, complex arguments, and varied writing styles, enriching their overall linguistic repertoire and enabling them to express themselves with greater precision and eloquence. To truly learn English, Alex believed in a multifaceted approach, integrating all four skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. He emphasized that each skill reinforced the others, creating a synergistic learning environment where progress in one area naturally propelled progress in another, fostering holistic development. English talking practice sessions became a regular part of his life, not just for learning, but for maintaining fluency. He engaged in discussions, participated in online forums, and even tutored beginners, finding that teaching others solidified his own understanding and ability to articulate complex concepts clearly. Alex's story became a beacon of hope for countless aspiring English speakers. He proved that fluency wasn't an innate talent but a cultivated skill, accessible to anyone willing to commit to consistent, smart effort, breaking down the intimidating barrier of language learning into manageable, achievable steps. His transformation demonstrated that even busy individuals could integrate effective English learning into their daily routines. The 1 page per day concept resonated deeply because it offered a realistic, sustainable path to fluency, acknowledging the demands of modern life while still promoting consistent progress. He frequently highlighted the psychological benefits of consistent practice. Overcoming the fear of speaking significantly boosted his self-esteem and confidence in other areas of his life, demonstrating that mastering a language can have far-reaching positive impacts beyond mere communication skills. Alex also became a proponent of authentic materials. He encouraged learners to engage with real-world English, from news articles to popular songs, rather than solely relying on simplified textbooks. This exposure provided a richer, more nuanced understanding of the language as it is truly spoken and written. The shift from rote memorization to contextual learning was pivotal in his journey. He understood that words gained their full meaning only when encountered in sentences, paragraphs, and complete narratives, making English story reading an indispensable component of his successful learning strategy. His early struggles with pronunciation motivated him to focus intensely on phonetics. He used online resources and practiced endlessly, realizing that clear pronunciation was paramount for effective communication and for being understood by native speakers, reducing misunderstanding significantly. Alex discovered that consistent listening not only improved comprehension but also subconsciously ingrained correct grammar and sentence structures. His brain began to internalize patterns, making grammatically correct sentences flow more naturally from his lips without conscious effort or laborious translation. The fear of making mistakes, once his biggest obstacle, gradually transformed into a drive for improvement. Each error was a lesson learned, a puzzle piece that helped complete his understanding of the language, proving that embracing imperfection is key to true growth and accelerated learning. He advocated for recording oneself speaking. This practice, initially uncomfortable, provided invaluable feedback. Listening to his own voice allowed him to identify areas for improvement in intonation, speed, and clarity, accelerating his speaking proficiency far more rapidly than just internal practice. Alex emphasized that a learner should not wait for perfection to start speaking. The act of speaking itself, regardless of initial errors, is the most effective way to improve. It forces the brain to retrieve vocabulary and construct sentences under pressure, strengthening neural pathways for language production. He often told his audience, to truly learn English, you must make it a part of your daily life, not just a subject you study. This integration, whether through reading a short article or listening to a podcast during a commute, transformed the learning process into a lifestyle. The joy Alex found in connecting with people from diverse backgrounds, all thanks to his improved English, was immeasurable. It opened doors to new friendships, career opportunities, and cultural experiences that would have remained inaccessible had he not committed to mastering the language. He frequently reiterated the power of reading different genres. From fiction to non-fiction, articles to poetry, each type of text expanded his vocabulary and understanding of different registers and styles, making his English both versatile and comprehensive, suitable for various contexts. Alex's advice on English talking practice was simple yet profound. Find a partner, even if it's just yourself at first. Regular, consistent speaking, even for 5 minutes a day, yields incredible long-term results, building confidence and fluency brick by linguistic brick, steadily and surely. He encouraged learners to celebrate small victories, understanding a new idiom, successfully holding a short conversation, or finishing a challenging book. These mini milestones provided crucial motivation and reinforced the belief that progress was indeed happening, propelling them forward. The concept of 1 page per day resonated with its emphasis on sustainability. It prevented burnout, a common pitfall in language learning, by ensuring that the daily commitment was manageable and enjoyable, fostering a long-term, positive relationship with the English language. Alex's journey highlighted that a fixed curriculum wasn't always necessary. Self-directed learning, guided by personal interests and consistent practice, could be equally, if not more, effective. This personalized approach made the learning journey deeply rewarding and highly relevant. He often stressed the importance of creating an immersive environment, even if living in a non-English speaking country. Changing phone settings to English, watching movies with English subtitles, and listening to English music all contributed to constant exposure and natural acquisition. His success story was a living testament to the idea that fluency isn't about perfection, but about effective communication. He proved that one could speak English confidently and competently without eliminating every single accent or error, focusing on clarity and connection instead. The power of storytelling was not lost on Alex, both in his reading and in his own attempts to articulate his thoughts. Crafting narratives in English, even simple ones, significantly improved his ability to organize ideas and express them coherently, enhancing his overall communication skills. Alex became a fervent advocate for finding joy in the learning process. He believed that genuine interest and enjoyment were powerful motivators, transforming what could be a tedious task into an exciting adventure of discovery and personal growth, making the journey truly fulfilling. He encouraged learners to personalize their journey, choosing materials and methods that genuinely appealed to them. Whether it was learning through video games, cooking shows, or online forums, tailoring the approach ensured sustained engagement and accelerated progress in the long run. The initial awkwardness of English talking practice became a badge of honor for Alex. It symbolized his willingness to step out of his comfort zone and embrace the challenges of language acquisition, knowing that discomfort often precedes significant personal and linguistic breakthroughs. His advice was simple: consistency trumps intensity. Better to do a little every day than a lot once a week. This steady, incremental progress built a stronger foundation and ensured that the knowledge was deeply ingrained, leading to more lasting and robust fluency over time. Alex's ultimate message was one of empowerment. "You can learn English," he would say, "one page, one conversation, one story at a time. The power is within you to unlock a new world of possibilities, one word, one phrase, one connection at a time." His journey from hesitant beginner to confident communicator was a testament to the profound impact of diligent, smart work. It wasn't magic, but a methodical application of proven learning strategies, proving that dedication, combined with effective techniques, makes any linguistic dream achievable.